my YouTube is Mickey and welcome to another video. Today we are doing another video like I did last week, an unedited rambling of sorts. I have these dishes from my room. I also have dishes in the dishwasher right here off screen. I'm doing a bit of a Sunday reset for myself, getting my living space in order. So while I do that, we're gonna have a chat about how making goals and plans in adult life is kind of impossible, and I'm just a little bit too directionless at this point. I took notes on my phone and then I forgot to bring the notes over to me, so we're gonna have to do this the hard way. But camera's gonna die. Love that. It literally wants to die after every single fucking thing that I do. We're gonna see how long this video ends up. It's gonna end abruptly with the camera just dying, so whatever. So you start life with school, and school is very structured, right? You have people who teach you what you need to know. You have clear grades, a clear indication of how well or how poorly you're doing at anything at any one time, and a clear stepping stone to the next place. And I don't really know why school is set up that way, because the societal purpose of school is to prepare you for adult life, but it doesn't though. Adult life is just not like that. It's not structured, it's not straightforward, there is no one specific path you can follow to get to where you're trying to go. But despite that being the truth, your teachers, or when you're in college, your professors will all kind of gaslight you into believing that if you just fill in these boxes on the quiz of life, you'll end up with the good test score. And I don't know if maybe that's the way it was for them, because society is changing year over year. Maybe in our parents' days, our teachers' days, our professors' days, it was that easy. And if you just do what you're supposed to do, everything will work out. But these days, that's not how this goes. I did my nails last night. They look really, really bad up close, but from afar, it looks these days, that's not how that goes. You can do everything right in school, and outside of school, just floundering. That's why there are so many people in our early, late, mid 20s, in our 20s, who are underemployed or employed in a job that has absolutely nothing to do with the college degree that we got, because that's just the way this goes. You can't just make your life be what you want it to be, or what you were trying to make it. You can get the grades. You can go to Yale or Harvard Law School, study law, get all A's, graduate as valedictorian, and still 3 years later end up as a bartender. There is no guarantee of anything, and there is no path to any form of success. You just you end up there or you don't. It really feels like a matter of luck, because it's not like people aren't applying themselves. It's not like people aren't trying. It's not like people aren't even doing well and being model versions of what a certain kind of employee would be. They're just not getting there. And then it's also all that I brought up this whole time is school and work. What else is life meant to be? I know that as a person, the whole reason I'm here is not just to do school and work. But I don't know how to set any other goals, because what other goals are there? We have hobbies, I guess. What is a hobby goal? I'm trying to learn to sew. My goal with sewing is to make something that fits me. But it's not quite the same, because that's something that I could accomplish in a day. What is the 5-year plan for me as a hobby seamstress? I don't know. And it's not like you need a goal for everything, but it's just this sense of nothing, just floating, existing, no trajectory, a sense of a lack of directionlessness that comes from not having any clear way to set goals about anything that you do. Really, I don't know any other way to explain this. If I don't know, if I can't get the job I want, and there's no real aim in any other aspect of life, what exactly am I supposed to be working towards? Or even if you do get the job, what then? Are you just trying to get as promoted as possible? And again, life doesn't need goals, but then what are you doing? I just wake up every day, do what is asked of me and then go to sleep. Like, where is the agency? Where is the like desire to act, to do? Where is the like motivation, the aspiration? How do you be like an overachiever or an underachiever, a regular achiever? How do you be, I can't think of the word, but someone who wants to have things happen, ambitious? How do you have ambition when there's nothing to aspire to? Like, we're not trying to get A's. We're not trying to get an honor roll. We're not trying to be valedictorian. We're not trying to be top 10% of the class. So what are we trying to do? What is the point of any of it if it's not building towards anything? Like, have a job, go to work. Cute plan. I can do it. Like, cute plan. But what's the point, though? Just for 40 years. Just why? And so, like, it's a combination of this feeling of, like, what even am I doing? Combined with us trying to do something, us saying, okay, well, I went to med school, guess I'll try and be a doctor, and not being able to accomplish that goal, not being able to get hired. Me, with my animation degree rolled up under my bed, being just as useless down there as it is in my practical day-to-day life. Because, like, and then, as I think I mentioned in the last video, I'm considering going to grad school. But I just don't want to, like, commit money and time to another degree when the first one was so demonstrably useless. Like, what would another one do for me other than waste my money? It's a lot of money to waste on a life that overall seems aimless, directionless, and trajectoryless. Like, how do I plan? How do I goal? How do I accomplish when there's nothing that is like made for me? And then doing nothing just also doesn't feel right. Maybe because of school, or maybe just like human nature. I don't know, but just being like, okay, I guess I'll just, you know, wake up, go to work, come home, cook dinner, eat the dinner, go to bed. Unfortunately, my no editing video now needs an edit, but it's going to be the little simplest edit, like taking the end of that clip and putting it next to this clip. That clip was like 2 hours ago, so I don't know where I left off, but I do know that it is a nice cloudy day. It's giving turn the heater on. It's giving light a candle. It's giving sit by the window and play a cozy little game. So that's what I'm gonna do. But before I do that, I need to prep dinner for the week, because not prep dinner, prep like all my food, because I need to cook later. So I need to prep my tofu and my split peas, or my split pea soup and my tofu broccoli thing, and I need to get some lunch because I'm hungry, so then I can eat my lunch and then I can play my game. So that's what we're gonna do as we finish this little conversation we were having. So I don't know exactly where we left off, but I still have my talking points. So we need to head to the kitchen. Right. So, okay, in the sense of goals, trying not to show you outside my window. In the sense of setting goals at the current time, any goal that anyone would strive to have right now is pretty much unattainable, or like outside of our sphere of control. So how is that a goal then? How is that a goal and not just a random like list of desires? Like, for example, getting married by X age. Getting married by X age. It's a goal that a lot of us had, but we very quickly had to realize it was completely out of our control. It depended on some other man or woman being interested in marrying us. And it's, you know, much to our surprise and shock horror, not something that you can force someone to do. So the whole idea of getting married by a certain age has fallen apart. And I also don't know how our parents did it. I literally need a tutorial because I've dated these men. I've tried. I am still trying. I went on a date yesterday. I'm trying to date these men and it's not working. So I don't know what I don't get. I guess this is the moral of the story here. Like, I don't know what worked for them that isn't working for me, but it isn't working for me. And it's not just marriage, right? There's all of our little, by, you know, whatever age teenage you thought was the time that like you would be a real adult and have your life together, a lot of us was 25, which I am right now, and I'm not really enjoying it. Whatever age that was, we probably thought like we'd be married by now, out of our control. We'd have a house by now. Completely unattainable. Completely unrealistic. I was telling the story at work the other day of how when I was in preschool, for some reason, the thought came to my mind to ask my parents how much our house cost. And whoever I asked said $100,000. That's probably not how much it cost. They were probably just trying to give me a clean number, and they probably didn't think I would like even understand the concept of money or care at all because I was 3 or 4 years old. But I asked, and they told me $100,000, and so I grew up thinking, okay, houses cost $100,000. Got it. And, you know, they neglected to tell 4-year-old me about inflation and price gouging and just the economy in general. I'm straining my tofu. And just the economy in general. They neglected to mention that information. So imagine my shock, horror, and surprise when I thought about it again. Maybe high school, college. And I was like, oh, I'm supposed to buy a house soon. If I want to be grown, like that's just something I gotta check off my list. So let me go ahead and buy a house. Imagine my horror, shock, and surprise when my $100,000 house, my cute little starter home, was not $100,000. Imagine my surprise moving to California and thinking, well, maybe it's not gonna be nice. Maybe it's not gonna be in LA. But there must be a $100,000 house somewhere. And there was not. I looked on every single housing website I could find. I worked at a real estate brokerage when I first moved here. So I had like insider knowledge, insider access. Oh my God, I cannot turn, I have too many things and I don't even have a lot of things. I just have no space, so nothing fits. Anyway, worked at a real estate brokerage, had insider insider information, and the cheapest house I could find was $400,000, and it was burnt down. It was ash and rubble for $400,000 in Southern California. My other option is a trailer home. I can get one of those for $200,000 to $300,000, but it's a trailer home. They depreciate in value, so it'd be essentially a $300,000 car that by the time I want to sell it is going to be worth $100,000, you know, such a slay. And you have to pay rent for the land that you put the trailer home on. So it's not even cost efficient in the end. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. So how was I supposed to accomplish that goal? With my little salary. And you know what's an annoying place? LinkedIn. Annoying website. Because you go on there and you see, there's no discrimination. LinkedIn's algorithm doesn't say, oh, you know what? I noticed this person has been trying to find a job for a year. I noticed they've been unemployed all year. Maybe I'll show them things from other unemployed people so that they can feel motivated or something. LinkedIn doesn't do that. LinkedIn says, you know what they want to see? They want to see the CEO of a mega corporation complaining about how people are asking for too much money these days, about how the girls actually expect to be paid, and that's just not acceptable. And so I ask, how am I supposed to accomplish my goals in a world where a mega corporation CEO can go viral on LinkedIn for complaining about people at job interviews asking to be paid money? How was I supposed to do that? Explain. I will wait. I will literally wait for you to explain. Take your time. Could it come up with anything? I didn't think so, because it doesn't make any sense. What I'm doing right now is pressing tofu. I'm eating a high protein diet right now because I'm trying to get thick and I'm trying to be better at gymnastics, which requires me having some muscles. So we're eating lots of protein. But I find, like, I don't know, my eczema is really bad right now. And I'm wondering if maybe it's all the protein, like all the meat. So like I've already been focusing on white meat instead of dark, but now I'm like, let me just incorporate some other stuff. Chickpeas taste like garbage, so we're going with tofu. So that's what's happening in the background there. I need to weigh this down with something more than a salt container. That's not heavy enough. It's so dark all of a sudden. Okay. Yeah, our goals are outside of our control and completely unattainable. So how are we supposed to like goal set when nothing is even like, okay, like if we were to relate this to school, it would be like if the only accessible goal, the only goal you have the option to set is to go to Harvard and graduate valedictorian. But your current situation is that you are in a school in like an urban area where your whole class shares one textbook. Like, how does that make sense? You're not rich going to prep school. Your great granddad didn't go to Harvard. You're not the smartest kid in class. So how? That's how it feels about everything that I'm supposed to be achieving and doing right now. How? I need a tutorial, and a real one. Not the lies tutorial. Not the gaslighting tutorial. Not the tutorial that applied for our parents, because the world has changed. And I literally have no idea how my parents managed to like end up in the situations that they were in, because it's not aligning to my life at all. It's not aligning to the way things are going for their kids in any way. So who is even supposed to advise us when the previous generation had just, it just happened, I guess. They worked hard, and then their hard work resulted in something. We work hard, and then we're bartenders, and then we're unemployed for a year. Like, do you see how that doesn't add up? And then I find that it's hard to even really know what you want sometimes because of social media. Look, I've deleted social media off my phone, and it's been gone for a while. I deleted Twitter a long time ago out of spite. They banned me, and I was like, okay, Twitter, you think I really need to hang on to you that hard? Because I don't. So I deleted Twitter out of spite a while ago. And then I recently deleted Instagram out of spite as well, because they did the same thing. They like mark my comments as spam, and then I'm like, it's not spam. I literally said, oh my gosh, great video. And then they're like, no, it is spam. And then I'm like, okay, delete. So now I just incidentally don't have any social media. I never got TikTok because at first I thought it was just a fad. And then by the time I realized it was staying around forever, people had already gotten addicted to it. And I was like, you know what? I don't need another addiction in my life. So I just don't have any social media. But I still have YouTube. So there is still a little bit of, now that I don't have social media, I guess I could see it more clearly because it's not happening to me all the time. But there is this idea of, I'm not really vibing today. Let me go on YouTube or let me go on social media and try and like entertain or enjoy myself, create some sense of joy. And then you go on there and you either see someone miserable, talking about being miserable, and then you feel bad and you're just down bad with them. Not like this. I mean like straight like doomer content. YouTube loves a good like it's all over I quit type video. Or you get the other side, which YouTube loves even more. It's so like, please hang it up. Where this person is living the most ideal life that there ever was. And maybe they're trying to sell you a course on how you can get your life ideal. Maybe they're making their 17th how to be a clean girl video. Maybe they're like showing off their new Lamborghini. Whatever the case is, they're living the most ideal life. And you see them happy and you're like, okay, well, I'm not happy. Right? And they have a Stanley Cup. Okay? And they are happy. So maybe if I get a Stanley Cup, and then next thing you know, you have a bunch of desires that you don't even actually want. You just saw someone else had it, and now you're like, well, what else am I gonna do? It's not like anything I actually want is gonna come to me. So maybe I'll just try and want something else. Look at, this is getting on my nerves. Look at my living room right now. Does this look like a living room to you? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Anyway. It gets to a point where, like, I don't know fully what ideas are mine because I don't really have a lot of quiet brain time. And that's something I'm trying to incorporate more into my life with, like, driving to work in silence, working in silence, filming a video instead of listening to something while I prep my food. Like just having a bit more quiet moments to see where my brain goes if I just leave it alone. Because I like feel very disconnected from myself and my actual goals and actual desires, because I just like, when am I supposed to access them? I'm constantly being bombarded by internet hoo-ha and nonsense. Where is the time to like actually connect with what I want? I hate this soup pot. I like that it's big, but I want it to be non-stick, and it isn't. And I'm like, well, I can't just throw it away, so I just have a soup pot that I don't really like working with. But we gotta be frugal in these streets. Money is not an infinite resource, so we have an unfortunate soup pot. But yeah, social media kind of makes it that, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. And I feel like a lot of people will not understand this because I didn't really see it until I took a couple steps back. But there really is just a sense of like, you're just too easily influenced. Like, has anybody ever started a business or considered or tried to start a business that you had no business starting in a shared living room because social media told you to? Not because like you suddenly had a passion for drop shipping, but just because you were like, well, they said it'll make me money, and I kind of need that, so I guess I'll just do that. Since college didn't work, I guess I'll just try something else. Maybe it's just more of the same. Like all throughout elementary, middle, high school, we were told go to college and it'll all work out, and then we realized, oh, you lied. So now we're just falling for other lies because something's got to give, something's got to work. Like maybe it's just that same process of hearing this'll do the thing, and then it doesn't do the thing, and we're just like, well, I guess I gotta find something else to do the thing. And you just slowly have to come to the realization that maybe nothing is ever gonna do the thing. And then that's what makes me feel stuck. And why my videos are kind of like this right now. And why I feel like they're gonna be like this for a while, because I've been stuck for a while. And I don't know where else to go with it. I don't know. I had to buy new kitchen shears because my last ones disappeared into the wind. So, welcome the blue kitchen shears. Oh, they match my shirt. Okay. I don't know what I want to do with myself lately. And like I came up with this whole plan of like, okay, I'm trying out project management, but just in case I don't like it, I don't want to lose track of design. So I was going to freelance design, branding, and websites. Off to the side, I was going to market myself through email marketing to try and practice learning marketing, because I do work in a marketing department, so I should, like, you know, gain that skill. And you need it for freaking everything these days, because how are you going to survive without a side hustle? How are you going to survive without your own business? You're not. So you need to do marketing. That's loud. Give me a second. Okay. I'm only making half, because if I eat split pea soup every day for a week, my intestines and bowels will jump out of my body in protest. So, yeah, where was I? Actually, where was I? I don't know. We'll just start a new sentence then. I don't know what to do. Oh yeah, I didn't want to lose track of design, so I was going to freelance off to the side. Practice marketing by marketing my freelance business and try and find, my goal was 4 to 6 clients in the year, which is not a lot. But it's also, I've never had any clients, so it is a lot. But I thought, like, if I can learn marketing, then I can do it. And then I'll have learned marketing, I'll have learned project management, and I'll have kept up with design all in 1 year. I can get my master's degree in like this technical field, and then I'll have all the skills I need to get XYZ job, make 6 figures, and be good for life. That was the plan theoretically, but I'm having trouble actioning the plan because so like a very, very large part of my brain feels like the plan either will not work or I will not like the job that's supposed to make me 6 figures and give me enjoyment. I think I'm okay with not liking my job. I can just get a different job, or like I have a couple of options, like three jobs that I can do with my master's degree. If I don't like one, I can do the others, and I can always just go back to graphic design and like try and be an art director and eventually make some money. But I'm worried about not liking it in the moment. And I'm also worried about just not getting there. About studying and getting the degree, spending the money on starting my freelance design business and marketing it, spending the time and effort to have a full-time job and then a side hustle, of just spending everything that starting this up is going to cost, and then it never amounting it to anything. Never getting the freelance clients. I need to figure out, like, it won't. Anyway, never getting the freelance clients, never, like, not ever getting hired back in design again. I've already had a year of not being able to get hired as a designer, so would a master's degree really change that? I mean, the bachelor's degree didn't change anything for me, so, like, it just feels like everything is pointless, and it's not going to work, because it hasn't worked time and 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 time again. And it's not just for me. I see y'all with your PhDs working as bartenders. So it's just like, how am I meant to have faith in any of this stuff when it proves that it does not work? What does work? Luck? Caucasity? Like, I don't have that. So what am I supposed to do? What was the starting, like, thesis of this video? Planning and knowing if you're going in the right direction as an adult is impossible. Yeah, that plays into that. If I don't know if anything I'm going to do is going to turn out. Like, if you study for a test, presumably 9 times out of 10 you'll get a better grade. And if you don't, you need to change, like, you need to increase your amount of study or change your method of study, get a tutor to help you study. But the answer is studying. In this life, is the answer a freelance design business? Is the answer a master's degree? Is the answer just staying where I am and being content and accepting that I'm just never going to afford a house or, like, kids or much of a life, really? Is that, like, I don't know. So what am I supposed to do then? With this uncertainty, lack of direction, lack of clear understanding what my desires even are, because so many things that I have wanted have fallen apart to the point where I'm kind of, like, just seeking any source of hope, and it leads to me not really being in tune with myself and what I actually want, and more so being in tune with the idea of I just need something to work, so I'm willing to throw spaghetti at a wall and see what sticks. All of it combines into just aimlessness. And I don't really see an end in sight. Like, how am I supposed to figure this out? And I know that's the whole gag. That's the whole thing with adult life. Where am I supposed to put this? We have moths. And so I put all my food in, like, glass jars and stuff. And, like, this is not going to work with pantry moths. Ugh. Life is so annoying. So annoying. Okay, I'll put it in here. So, how are you meant to goal set when everything you want is unattainable? How are you meant to plan when nothing you do seems to bring any specific result? How are you supposed to create a life when all of your desires are committed to running away from you? I don't know. And the reason I didn't upload the last video is because I tried to force myself to end on a positive note and, like, make something up, and I didn't like that. And I don't have a positive note for you guys. I don't want to be a doomer. This is not a doomer channel. I don't want this to be what this turns into. But if I'm just rambling about my thoughts on life, I mean, I doubt I'm going to find the solution to a problem I've had for months in 20 minutes. So I still don't know what my plan is. You've heard my little design scheme. Might do that. I don't see why I shouldn't do it. Action seems better than inaction, and if I fail, I mean, I've already failed a billion times, so what difference would it really make? So it seems like I should do it, but it's hard this time. Because I feel like it's already pointless. I haven't done it and I already feel like it's pointless, so it's like, why do it? But I know it's not. It hasn't proven itself as pointless. So I should still try to do something, but I'm like, how many times do I have to like go through this cycle of trying to rebuild and let me get a new certification, let me get like redo my resume, let me contact recruiters and get stuff together, let me set new goals, let me push back my expectations of myself, let me realign what I want my life to look like. Maybe I don't need a house, maybe my goal is just to have an apartment someday, maybe not having 5 roommates who set up a fashion boutique in the living room is the best that I can do. Like, how much can you reframe and like try and be optimistic until you get to a point where it's like, obviously this isn't working. Time to just cut my losses. Like, I have a job, I make money, bills are paid. Maybe that's just like the best that I can ask for at this point. So yeah, that's where I sit. I don't know how to plan for my future because nothing ever works. And it all just feels completely unachievable at this point. Let me know if you feel the same, if you're in a similar situation as me, or if you've come out of that situation. If you felt that way at one point, you figured it out, and you have some advice for me and people like me who are watching but maybe haven't left a comment, let us know. Because for the 20-somethings out here, it is really confusing and it seems really just pointless and hopeless and like aimless. And being aimless in life, not too much fun. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little ramble. I hope you felt related to. And I will see you all next time, in which I have to think of something happy to ramble about one of these days. But I will see you all next time. And until then, toodaloo. I'm gonna get my lunch. This is your time to click my links. I'm not going to say anything else entertaining, so leave a comment, leave a like, and click the links. Alright, bye.